What's good, YouTube? So your boy got the chance to perform at Coachella this year, and I just had to turn the camera on and talk to you guys about it. I never thought something like this would happen, and it all happened really fast. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into that in this video, but first let me just explain how this even came to be. So a couple of months ago, the homies over at Beat Cinema invited me to become the newest resident at their shows. Of course I said yeah, but then a few weeks later they also invited me out to Coachella. So, you know, I was still kind of buzzing off the fact that I was about to be a resident at a place, but then Coachella just got thrown into the mix, and honestly, it was a lot, you know? It was kind of a lot for me to process. And I remember when I found out that I was going to be going to Coachella, I told my moms, and she was just super excited for me. She was like, what? Couldn't believe it. Want me to tell my grandmas and all this stuff. So, you know, I was kind of just buzzing off of that, and was like, I don't know, it just didn't hit me yet, you feel me? So, you know, of course I was excited. I didn't know what to think. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I wouldn't even think about Coachella. So fast forward a few weeks later, I'm in a group chat with a bunch of people that I don't know, some people that I already knew, and they were just talking about how excited they were and about the RV situation, because for those that don't know, a lot of people camp at Coachella. You know, they bring their cars out, bring some tents out, and just thug it out for a few days. But you can also rent an RV. So the group wanted to rent an RV, and everybody was talking about how worth it is. So I was just like, you know, I might as well just pay the extra couple $100 and, you know, have a spot in the RV. So your boy did that, and I also filled out some documentation pertaining to me being at Coachella performing as an artist, so that I don't have to get a ticket. Honestly, I was just grateful, because the fact that I'm going to Coachella was one thing, but the fact that I was going to be performing as an artist was a whole nother thing. So fast forward a couple more weeks later, about two to 3 more weeks later, I got my set ready. I got a pretty lengthy set, actually, like over an hour worth of beats, just chill beats, no up-tempo stuff. That's just not who I am. So I just kept it simple, kept it true. So people that I was going to be rolling down to Coachella with were the homies Clopsy, DJ and Soul, and Wave Groove. These were the 3 people that I was going to be sleeping in the RV with, as well as 2 other people that was in the group chat. So we got there on day 0, and this was my first time stepping foot at Coachella. Later on in the day, I got to check out the spot that we were going to be performing at, and this spot was called the Turn Down Tent, which I feel like that was the perfect name for that spot, because the type of music that we were playing was perfect. So fast forward a few hours, we're playing beats. I got to do my first set on Friday, which was day 0, and that was cool. It wasn't as packed. I was a little nervous, but I got to do my set. It was cool. I was kind of prepping it on the way to Coachella, so I kind of was just like testing the grounds, because I had another set lined up on Sunday. So I did my set. It felt good. Some people was actually vibing to it too. Like, it wasn't that packed, like I said, but some people pulled up on me, asked for my IG, and I was just like, you know, like, hold up, like they actually vibing with the beats, you feel me? Like, it just really made me feel good on the inside. So yeah, man, we did that. Went back to the RV, and for the next few days we just chilled out, enjoyed the shows. I didn't really have any more sets lined up till Sunday, so I was chilling. The homies, they had to perform, so it was nice to go see them. The homies Saison, Elusive, Clopsy, Wave Groove, DJ and Soul, the homie Frankie Jack's Nomad. For the next couple days, I was just able to chill with these homies and just chop it up, catch some dope performances, and yeah, it was just thrown out into another environment that I just was not expecting. You know, like I said, this was my first time, but for a lot of these people, it was like their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time going to Coachella. So it's just like they was just really making veteran moves, if you catch what I'm saying. Like, they definitely knew the ins and outs of Coachella. They were like some tour guides for me, not gonna lie. Like, they showed me the way, and I was glad that I got to camp out with them. Fast forward to Sunday, and this is our last day. This is day 3, and this is the day that I have to perform. And I was gonna be performing at 2 to 3 a.m. Now, weeks prior to Coachella even happening, and when I saw the flyer and I saw that I was gonna be performing at 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., I was like low-key like dreading it. I was like, bro, I'm gonna be so tired, like but on Sunday, when it came time for me to perform, before it even came time for me to perform, I was like hella nervous. I was like nervous all day on Sunday. I wasn't trying to eat. The homie was eating good, but I was not really feeling it, man. I was nervous as hell. We was camping out in the RV a lot that day. Just had the YouTube streams up to see, what was going on outside. But I was just in the RV just prepping my set, man. Like, I didn't want to think about nothing because I knew that this day was going to be a little bit more crowded because this is the last day of Coachella. And the days prior, the turn down tent was turning up. I'm not gonna lie, the turn down tent was turning up in the chill way though. Like, it was just a lot of people there, more people than I was expecting. Throughout the whole setup, it's people on beanbags, either chilling out, listening to the music on their phones, or just straight up passed out. And it was some heads up in there, and people was actually feeling the music. So I was just peeping the crowd throughout the whole weekend, and was like, damn, like it's getting kind of cracking out here. And another thing is that they closed off the main festival area. So at this point, at 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, people from the festival is about to come back to the campgrounds to go to sleep. But some people ain't about to go to sleep. Some people about to keep partying. And it was some nights where we was up till like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. You feel me? Just chilling. So I knew that it was people up throughout the whole night that just want to listen to music. You feel me? Yeah, throughout the nights, I just got to see the tent fill up with people, fill up with heads, people coming in and out, vibing to it. And when it came time for me to perform, man, I was super nervous. But once I got on stage, after the first or second beat, the nerves just left me, and everything that I was prepping and practicing just took control, you feel me? And it was just a super dope experience because I saw people either vibing out, bobbing their head, like, nodding on beat with the drums and stuff. And then I see people that's just like chilling out with their eyes closed, and it's like, I don't know if they just super into the beats or if they just passed out. It was just like super nice to gauge the crowd and see what they was feeling and stuff. Sometimes I'll up the tempo, sometimes I'll slow it down. But yeah, man, it was some people that was in it throughout the whole set. I even let some random dude pull up and just freestyle. He just asked to do 16 bars, and I was like, yeah, dog, go ahead. He did a pretty good job. I was hoping he didn't mess up, but he did good. But yeah, man, after my set, I was straight, dog. I felt good. I was able to eat a whole meal, and that same morning, because at this point it's Monday morning, we just hit the road. We hit the road, came back out to LA. And so yeah, now that you guys know how it happened and kind of the vibes that was happening during this trip, what would be the main reflections from this little adventure I took? That weekend really showed me that you don't need to be famous to belong. Yes, there were headliners like Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Travis Scott, but there's always an audience. There's always a time and place for certain types of music, and I feel like the turn down tent was just the perfect spot for me to play my music. I don't make partying type beats, you feel me? I don't make club bangers, you feel me? Like, I make some smooth, some head nodding, chilled out, low key vibed music, and the turn down tent was just the perfect spot. Cats is just vibing out, and it really just made me feel like I belonged at Coachella. I was scared that I was gonna be surrounded by people that just didn't know how to listen to the music, that didn't know how to bob their head, and this trip proved me wrong. Another thing is that the audience don't care about status. They just care about the vibe. I noticed that whenever me or my peers around me went on stage, people didn't really care about who they were. They just cared about how the music sound and if they can move to it, or how they can move to it, or if it just fit in the moment. You feel me? People weren't really worried about who was on stage. Even though at Coachella it's a whole bunch of famous people, a whole bunch of celebrities and stuff, and you can go look in 6 different directions and see 6 different celebrities performing. It gets a little intimidating as a smaller artist, you feel me? As somebody who's not as big as them. But then again, the audience don't care about that. They just care about if it's good music, if they can move to it. Some people just want just want to feel some, you feel me? So that was a really good experience, just to go on stage, perform, do my stuff. People pull up on me and ask for my IG, either in the middle of my set or, when I walk down, when I'm done and stuff. It was just good vibes, because some of these people never even heard of this kind of music. They never even processed it or thought of it or knew that it was a thing, you feel me? So it was just nice to expose them to another form of good music. One last reflection is that I noticed this whole experience just made me a lot more hungry and driven to see what else the future holds. Like, a lot of you guys have been watching me cook up in this room for years and years, and finally your boy is venturing out. Your boy is leaving the lab and doing stuff. So Coachella was just a huge experience. It's definitely going to be stored in the memory bank. And I'm just grateful to all the people that made it possible. All the guys that went into the turn down tent, the homies over at Beat Cinema, and yeah, just grateful for everything. So yeah, that was my Coachella experience, my first ever Coachella experience as an artist. If you guys want to stick around and see what else happens on this journey, make sure you guys subscribe. But if you want to go a step further, look down in the description and check out my beats, whether on Bandcamp, Spotify, or you can check out my samples on my website. But with all that being said, you guys, your boy's gonna get out of here. Peace out.